calls, and I mean nobody calls. And so we go live, and we are now we're live. And I'm going to make sure that it's public. That's the challenge I have not figured out yet. It may still be maybe more so user error than anything, but for some reason it goes private when I first hit live.
I have to adjust myself. I'm a little crooked.
Kind of center. Let's see. And hopefully people are absolutely popping in. Yep, here it is. Make sure that it's public. Well, actually, they won't be able to pop in until we get it public.
Okay.
Now. All right. We are officially on air.
Yeah.
So glad you are here. Thank you so much for choosing to be on Transcend.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
You are welcome. I'm excited to have your show. When you sent your bio, I was like, ooh. So good. And of course, you and I have had, we've had conversations prior to this, and you've blessed me with the opportunity to be on your platform, Ascended Volition, the Internet Radio Network Spotlight. And it's just been really wonderful getting to know you and to hear like just the resilience of the day-to-day that you live in your life. And so definitely want you to introduce yourself so that people will know who they're encountering today.
Well, I am Ayanna Pope. I am, I do a lot through my company, Ascended Volition. I help people heal from the inside out and to rise. To rise above whatever that thing is that's in front of them. I feel that we all have something inside of us that needs to break through.
Yes.
And I'm here for it. And I'm here for it. And that's what my company is about. That's what I'm about. And that's what my passion is. Anything from spiritual counseling to creating platforms for people to function in their purpose. That's my passion.
I love that. Hi, Nika. Thank you for tuning in. So great to see you here. And so if you have not caught on, look, not only is she, right, a woman, a wife, a mother, an entrepreneur, a live stream TV provider, an internet radio provider, a two-time author.
Listen.
He's faith-based, y'all. Okay.
Amen.
He is faith-based. And I love that so much because we don't encounter enough of it, or people think that because you're in business or because you have something to offer or to sell, if we're just being truly transparent, which we're all in the business of sales, whether you're self-employed, unemployed, or employed, right? You are positioning yourself for your next best opportunity. If you're dating, you're selling. Just be careful what you're selling, right? Like whatever the case may be, right? That's another topic. Whatever. I've been on all sides of it.
I love
it. Unfortunately. Right? We're all in the business of promoting something, offering something, and they think that because you're in business or because you're in sales that it has to be sleazy, it has to be, you can't be open about or transparent about things. You don't, like just the world is pretty, it's all about money, and that's not necessarily the case. Yeah, we go into business to create money, to create opportunities, to serve people, to provide them with what they need. Yeah, we can still absolutely love God and have him be a huge part, right? Be at the heart of what it is that we're doing. So thank you for leading with that by example for other people and particularly women in business.
Thank you. Thank you. You are such a bright light. You're such a bright light. Every time I see you on my timeline, it's a bright light. So I thank you for the vibes that you send. I thank you for the work that you put in. It shows. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, I'm not gonna tear here. I just love it. Every time we talk, we cry.
We're gonna do a crying session. It's over.
Every time we talk. All right, we're not going to do that today, y'all. So if you are joining us, hi, Ayanna. So great to have you here. If you are joining us, please hashtag live so that we can see you and say hello. When you catch this on the replay, please hashtag replay. We want to know that you are here. We want to be able to hop back in, provide you information, answer any questions that you have, making the connection.
Yes.
So Ayanna has given us her introduction. And those of you who have watched Transcend with Bootstrap Dreams know this series is all about overcoming life's disappointments, whatever your it may be, right? It's inevitable. So long as we are breathing, we're going to encounter something. Yet we want you to be encouraged that you can keep living. You can keep thriving and not just surviving. You can choose, right, to be well and to find your purpose-driven life. Like that's what this is all about. So Ayanna, when you hear the word transcend, what comes to mind?
Oh, it makes my whole soul shake. It makes me I think of just rising above, just not just a little bit, but just all the way over, rising above whatever that obstacle or that wall may be. Shoot, if you have to break through that thing. I get excited. I get excited when you told me about what you're doing here with Transcend. I said, what is this? Tell me more, because it's just one of those words that makes my soul happy. Like I don't like to be bound, and when I hear transcend, it just means go through, go over, go beyond it, not just a little bit. And so that's why I'm here talking to you, because I feel.
Listen, right? Ayanna said, if anybody feel you, she feels you. That's what she's saying. Okay, I'm gonna just say it for her, because you have encountered a lot of life. You have encountered a lot of life. And I want you to feel comfortable sharing as much of that as you deem appropriate to share. But when we talk about transcending, because again, just like finances, right? Rich is relative. And so whatever your it is, to somebody else might say that's it, but it's your it, right? Nobody has the right to weaponize your story.
That's right.
And if it is something that you are feeling, and if you feel like it is too big for you, or you know, it's bigger than you, know that. But if you feel like it is too big for you, that's okay to be honest in feeling that, because with that awareness, you can get great help. And with the great help, you will get great assistance, right?
Yes.
So Ayanna, tell us wherever you want to start, because I know you can start in so many places.
Well, I mean, I can just start where so many people start. And it comes with the limiting beliefs. It comes with the experiences that we've had, even from as little as being a little girl or a little boy. And at some point, when we're younger, we dream of, I want to be a doctor. I want to ride an airplane. I want to do this. I want to do that. And we have such a free spirit and joy and anticipation about that thing. Like we just know it's going to happen. But then life happens.
Then life.
Somewhere within that limbo, we stop dreaming. We stop living in that world of possibility, and we start descending our beliefs, our mind, our mindset, and what we think is actually possible for us.
Yeah,
it's truly one of those things about recovering that possibility, that knowing that, okay, this is for me too. This is for me too. I'm not supposed to just wait in the crowd and then watch other people be great, or I'm not supposed to just sit on the sideline and cheer somebody else on. That's so good. I think it's a time and season and place to cheer somebody else on. I feel like it's good to be great and be happy for other people. But I think sometimes at some point or another, we have to wonder and think about, why aren't we in the game?
That's right.
And then when we go back to that question, why am I not in the game? We have to go back to our beliefs. What happened? What happened to make you stop? That caused you to stop believing in what you wanted. So let's start with those beliefs. Let's start with those experiences.
That was a whole episode, just right there in 2 minutes. That was a whole episode. So definitely asking ourselves, taking a moment of self-reflection. To answer the question, why aren't we in the game, right? Because a lot of times this discontentment comes from, if we're being honest, if you're not doing, if you're not activating what you know is down inside of you, and you're watching people, and initially you're like, yeah. And then after a while, you're like,
my hand's tired. Okay. I want to go play.
And then eventually, well, when's it going to be my turn? When you show up.
Yeah.
Right? When you step in to your thing and become proficient by practicing. I tell people, you don't become proficient by watching.
Yeah.
You become proficient by practicing. So why aren't you in the game? You haven't stepped into the game. You haven't stepped onto the field. You haven't put on the uniform. You haven't picked up the pen. You haven't gotten the key, the fingers on the keyboard. You haven't picked up the mic. You haven't.
Yeah, that's so true.
Right?
Yep. And I don't know why, when you were speaking, my mind just flashed back to this movie, Like Mike, and he would put on his gym shoes and tie him up and he get on the game. Some of us don't even put on our gym shoes. So why don't we put on our gym shoes? And you know what? Everybody's call and purpose, it looks different. It doesn't, you don't have to be what this person is, what that other person is. You find your lane. You find what brings you alive, and you do that thing, and you inspire other people to do what's in them. So, I feel like I watched something that you did before, talking about being graced to do something. We're not asking or talking about conjuring up something that's not already there. We're talking about something that you're already graced and equipped.
Yes.
Choose and get on the court and play the game.
Right? And by any moral means necessary too, right? By any moral means necessary. Yes. Do you find your best you? The more I talk with copywriters, the more I talk with marketing and brand strategists, the more I am so excited to just embody the fact that who I am as a person is my brand, right? Mm-hmm. I don't have to be separate. I don't have to try to be Tawana this and then be the business strategist that. No, we are the same. We are one, right? There's going to be a time where certain etiquettes show up, There's times where I might be more poised than others. There's time where I might, say this over here, but not necessarily apply it to that conversation, yet it's still me. Yes. And that's all that we have to be.
I love it.
In our lives and in our business. Like, they should be integrated, and we create that balance. We won't ever people say, find balance. Good luck. Let me know how that works.
That's right. That's right. I can
create. Yeah. So as we talk about why aren't we in the game, and you starting where so many people start, what caused you, or when did you step into your game?
Let's just start off by saying that I've always felt full. I've always felt full of passion, felt full of something. I knew something was going on in there. Mm-hmm. I didn't quite know the expression yet. Mm-hmm. And so it took life and its happenings and me putting 2 and 2 together and like truly having to walk through it with God, like, okay, what is this? And, for it to, at some point it made sense. Okay. Yes. This is why I was put in this position to see this. Mm-hmm. This is the position. This is why I was put here to feel, just feel certain ways so I can know the need, so I can know where people are, and to be able to just take time to walk it out, and put form to this thing that God gave me, which is greatness, something we all have. It's nothing that you have that I don't have, and I have that he doesn't have. No, we all have it. Sometimes we have to take the time out and look at the hand that we've been given and not throw it away, but just like, well, what am I supposed to do with this? And then once it makes sense, it's like, it's it from there. Is it from there? So it just took me from always feeling that sense of, okay, there's something here and there's something about my life that I just haven't figured out the expression yet. It took me going through some hard challenges, through some trials, and being confused and frustrated. Frustration, it's one of those things that you don't like, but it's a good sign that you're getting close.
Yes. When you say that, we're going to put that so that way we make sure nobody misses that. And hopefully I don't have a typo as I type it as we're talking. Mm-hmm. But frustration is a good sign.
Yeah.
that you're getting close.
Yeah. Frustration is such a good sign that we're getting close. And I think a lot of the times what we do is we don't want to feel the frustration, so we cope. We don't want to feel the frustration, so we get distracted. We do something else. But sometimes it's meant for us to feel the frustration, so we can put it in the equation of what God really wants us to do with our life.
Right.
So when I felt that frustration, I went through all of my process. It took me to break. It literally took me to break to figure out, okay, God, I'm done. I'm done finding my way, trying to get away from this and trying to do something else. I have to just sit here and deal with it. And I feel like when we sit still for a moment and deal with it, not just by ourselves, but it's certain people that should be in your circle. In that place of labor, that helps that baby coming into this world. And so it was a lot. It was a lot of things that took place in that birthing place of purpose that caused it to come. What I do now to come into play, where I can see it, where I can feel it, where I can benefit from it, and where other people can benefit from my life.
Yes.
So
that is so enriching. And we got a comment like, wow, frustration is good, powerful, right? Like our audience is listening, they are in tune. And hey, if you have felt frustration, right? If you have felt frustration at any point in your life, put it in the chat, let us know. Like, you don't have to tell us the what, right? We don't want to hinge on the what. But like, if you have felt frustration, I have felt frustration. And be encouraged today, knowing that frustration that you have felt then, or the frustration you may be feeling now, is a sign that you are getting close. Don't give up. Don't back down, right?
No.
Now, if the data shows that you need to bow out gracefully, do your thing, right? Yet if you are doing well and the feedback is evident that you are walking in your grace, that you are walking in your greatness, that you are doing what is purpose and it is aligned with you, you sleep good at night.
Yes.
You know you have given it your best.
Yes.
But things just, it's just like you're just waiting for it to come together. Keep going.
Yes.
Keep going. Ask questions, seek help, collaborate, right?
Yes. Yeah.
The Black and Iconic CEO Conference, we have a theme where we talk about 1 + 1 = 2, but 1 and 1 make 11.
Wow.
Partner up. You can do so much more together than you can do on your own. And you don't have to do your journey, whether it's, again, personal or professional. You don't have to do it alone. You have great, good-hearted people here that want to see you win and that will absolutely help you do just that. So feel your frustration, acknowledge it, and reach out to those of us. We are right here. Yeah. Right? We are right here. Reach out to us. Reach out to us and have the conversation. So, okay, Ayanna. All right. So we're talking about, you stepped into your game. You felt the frustration. You've always felt full, right? You've always felt passionate about things. And you mentioned something earlier in our conversation about putting a, I can't remember the word you used. You said putting a frame around it, right? Like honing it in. Let's talk about that for a minute, because we might just start, but then at some point, right? You start shaping that craft. You start taking form, right? Talk about that journey of taking form to where you are now.
I think it's still an ongoing process. I found what are my strong areas, and I'm doing those to the fullest. I have other parts of me, that creative side of me, that I see it. Okay, I'll start it, but maybe I need to lock arms with others that can take over that thing for me to keep that part running. So that for that creative person, I know sometimes people can say, find your lane, and that lane that feels like this to you. Find your lane, fine, do that. But for me, I had to truly identify, like, what are my strong areas? What are my strong? Of course, I have this creative side that imagines everything, and I have the guts to even start it off, but sometimes you have to lock arms with those who are they do that. They do that to help run it efficiently with excellence, so that you do go further. in your craft and in your passion. So one thing that you said earlier that it made me think, I can't even remember the exact words that you said. But it just made me think of, hey, when you start off, you may not hear all the applause at first. You may not. Don't let it discourage you. Oh. Don't let it make you stop. Don't do it for the applause. Do it for what's in you. When you release it, you know that it makes you feel alive. You know that you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
Do that. The applause will come later. Don't worry about that.
Yes.
Do it. Do what you're told to do.
Right.
Do what you know that you're to do, and do it to the best of your ability. And then that vision, it will become more clear and more evident as you take those steps boldly, with or without the applause. Just do it.
Hello. And Jasmine, we see you. Thank you so much. StreamYard didn't pull your name up, but I see you on there now. And I want to acknowledge you because you are enjoying this conversation. Thank you for being with us tonight, Jasmine. So look, the applause.
Oh, don't we love it?
And on the third day.
Oh, goodness. Come on.
They cheered for him on day 1 and 2 and crucified him on day 3. Don't do it for the applause, right?
No.
Now, we are human and we were created to be in connection and relationship with others. And I have learned in my journey, Ayanna, to only be a part of that which I am invited to. And I say that in as far as being in relationship with people, right? And I'm not saying don't be a rebel, because sometimes you got to be a rebel. Sometimes you make room at the table for some things, right? But when it comes to being in relationship with people, I had to learn, if I wasn't invited in, support them from a distance, right? Support them from a distance. And so just because you don't see a whole bunch of applause, or just because you don't have a certain, maybe type of support you thought you would have from people that you know, understand that your gift or your product or your service is not for everybody, right? Moral support is just as significant, okay, as the buying power. The moral support is going to be there when the feast and or the famine.
Yep. Absolutely.
Right? Do that, right? When people change perspectives and change scopes and become a part of a new audience because your focus no longer serves them well. Do what you do because you know it is rooted in purpose.
Yes.
And the applause, the accolades, the recognition, all the outward things, it'll follow. It'll follow, right? And your gift, biblically, right? Your gift will make room for you. There'll be things that you won't even seek, and they will find you. Do what you do anyway, whether you feel like nobody's watching or whether you feel like everybody is watching. Stay anchored and do what you know you came to do, and do that well and with a good and proper motive so that you can sustain the abundance that you're going to receive. Right?
No preaching. Let me get my money out. Hold on. Oh my God, yes.
It's important. It's important. And as a project manager, right? As a business consultant, as accountability coach, Ayanna, that speaks. That's something that I just can't lean on enough, because people think, oh, when I get to this, and when that happens, and when I meet this person, and when I have this amount, that everything's going to be better and my life is going to be great. No, you're still going to be the same tired, raggedy, sick-souled person with a whole bunch of stuff. Right? So when your core is good, when you are good, everything else is just a cherry on top. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that you're good and do the behind the scenes work.
Yeah.
That makes your success truly successful. Right.
Oh my goodness. I so agree with you. Listen, throughout my journey from 2016, that's when I established my business, to even to this point now, I check my heart every time. Every day to make sure what I'm doing is I'm doing it because of the right reason. I'm doing it because this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm made for to do. I am here for this. I don't want to step out of the line to do anything else but what I am supposed to do. And I feel like for those of us who have faced challenges, who have, gone through things, I mean, you just have to do a heart check. It's nothing wrong with that. Do a heart check. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, because only when you do something for the right reasons will it last.
Yes.
Really last, and that foundation that it's on, it can't be shaken. So check the foundation first and continue to build upon that. And so I definitely feel you 110%.
I love it. Man, this is so rich. This is so rich.
Yeah.
And look, I know I when you watch this on the replay, just send us a little wave. Yes. And let us know that you are there, because you're absolutely going to get something. So when we talk about your topic, you can rise above, because that's what we're talking about, rising above all circumstances and challenges to win. These are the things that we're speaking to. These are those underground, those grassroots moments, right? What you're doing may not seem popular at first. That's okay. Do it anyway. That's what right. You say may wreck a couple of nerves and ruffle a couple of feathers. That's okay. If you're doing it with the right motive, do it anyway. And then tell your story, right? Something I shared with my my amazing Facebook community, Results-Driven Women, Results-Driven Strategies for Women Entrepreneurs on Tuesday, Ayanna, was about the power of telling your story.
Oh, yes.
And the topic was, your story may not be entirely unique. Tell it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tell it anyway, right?
Yeah.
And no doubt, because you shared some things with me, and then even your authorship, publishing, self-publishing, book 1, book 2, right? Releasing music. I mean, so many wonderful things that you have done, and your marriage as a ministry, your career transitions and things as ministry. Talk about how, you share your story to absolutely help transform hearts and lives.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think, and I agree, that sharing your story is one of the most powerful things that you can do. I can't remember the quote verbatim, but Maya Angelou talked about, holding a story. It's pain. It's painful to hold a story and you have one to tell. And so if you're of the Christian faith, we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. It even speaks of the but the thing is, so what I do is, along with other survivors, I host a survivors convention every February. Actually, the next one is coming up on the 26th.
Yes, next week.
And I have an event where I just various kinds of survivors. It doesn't have to be just one. It can be a breast cancer survivor, a gunshot survivor, whatever kind of trauma that you've experienced.
Yes.
I get those people together and they share their stories on the platform, and they not only share their stories, but give the tools to overcome those things. How did they make it from here to there? Because the in between, it gets messy.
Ooh, that space in between.
The in between make you want to throw in the towel. Like, I'm not even ready for this. And so I have these speakers who from different parts of the country, they talk about what their story is and how they got from point A to point B to give hope to other people, because we do lose hope. We feel hopeless, especially when we take our circumstance personal. It feels like it's just us, and that's the lie.
That's the lie.
That's the lie that keeps us stuck, and what makes us miserable and makes our dreams die.
Yes.
When we realize that we aren't the only ones, regardless to how personal our trouble feels, that's when we get to claim our story and our power back.
Yes.
And we get to do something with that. And I always tell people all the time, just because something happens to you doesn't mean that you have to put down the pen of your life. Pick back up the pen and finish the story. Finish the story. And you really do have power to bring a perspective, your life's perspective to it, as well as finish the story and how you want your life to finish and to turn out. So I always tell people that just because you've been through something, just because you did whatever that thing was, it doesn't mean that your story is over.
Listen,
finish the book.
Just because something happens to you does not mean you have to put down the pen, P-E-N, in your life. Finish the book. Did you hear her? If you heard Ayanna in that moment, please give us a hand clap give us a wave, give us a hand clap in the chat.
the truth.
That is so, so significant. And I know, as a survivor, right, of various traumas, and divorce is the one that I share.
Mm-hmm.
I share most openly because it's like of my many stories, it's the one that's most prominent to me, and it's the one that I can truly own without feeling like I am exposing anybody else, right? And so, and even that, I don't get caught up in the what, who. Doesn't matter what happened. People are like, well, what happened? Doesn't matter what happened.
What
happened. You need to know is
right.
It happened.
Yeah.
And you can go beyond it. I went beyond it. So whatever your it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can live beyond it, and telling our stories and choosing to live, right? Choosing to give. And as you and I talked about before, choosing to turn our sufferings into service.
Yes, that's it.
Right? Making a message out of the mess.
Mm-hmm.
And absolutely realizing, like you said, you're not the only one. Fortunately, unfortunately,
right.
Because we don't wish for these things to happen.
But they do. Yeah.
But they do, and you're not the only one. And so I'm on a mission, particularly for women, right? Because I am a woman, and that's the best angle I can speak from. We don't have to suffer in silence. None of us, nobody, regardless of your gender, you do not have to suffer in silence. And as long as you try to hide your it, and we're not saying everything is for social media, right? There are some parts that don't. Yeah. You go to professionals, you go to support groups, you go to your inner circle with the details of the it.
Yes.
It's not all for social media. Yet, when you are just courageous enough to own your it and say, you know what, it happened.
Mm-hmm.
It happened, but my worth is not defined by it.
That's it.
Right? My future is not defined by it. Now, it might have moved me in a different direction. It might have given me a greater awareness, right? Mm-hmm. But I still got a life that's worth living.
Come on.
I still have so much to offer. Right. I still have so much purpose because he didn't finish me. He didn't send me off. He didn't shut off my story. Mm-hmm. So until that time comes, I'm going to choose to keep living. I'm going to choose to keep sharing, and I'm going to choose to keep believing there's more in this life for me to experience, and for me to continue lifting others with my experiences, because they weren't just for me, right? And I know, like you said, as a survivor, and Ayanna is going to make sure to put the links in the comments to her upcoming conference, her survivors event, her survivors conference that is happening next week, regardless of what you have survived, right? Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever the case may be. This event is for you. It is for you to connect, for you to share your story, to be affirmed and encouraged, and to allow others to see it's not just you, it's not just me, right?
Right. And something, as you were talking, I just heard this, and so I'm going to say it, that you are, regardless to what happened, okay, regardless to what you did or what you've been through or whatever, you're still worthy. You're still worthy of good life. You're still worthy. And so you have to be patient with yourself. Take time, go through the necessary processes. And it doesn't have to take all day, but just be open and willing and apply what you need to apply to your life so that you can move forward. You are worthy.
Yes.
Sometimes we strip that thing from us. We strip that worthiness from us to think that, because whatever happened, I'm no longer worthy to be happy anymore. I'm not worthy to whatever happiness means for you, whatever this will make you happy. You're still worthy of that.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever.
Yeah. That worth factor is so important. And we're not talking about worth from a monetary value standpoint, right? We're talking about, if you had to take it all away, if you could take away the title, if you could take away the house, if you could take away the rings, if you could take away the shoes, if you could take away the car, if you could take away all the stuff that you weren't born with, if all of that were taken away or changed, are you still worthy? And we are here to tell you, yes, you are still worthy.
That's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, especially when you've forgotten and you didn't think that you were. You need to know.
You need to know, you need to know with it, without it, you are still worthy. You are still worthy. Oh my gosh, I just enjoyed talking with you. So we have talked about, if you're just happen to catch this on the end, we're here with Ayanna Pope, Mrs. Pope.
Come on.
Let me tell you about a woman that loves her husband. I am all the way here for it. I love y'all's love. The little glimpses of it that I get to see. I love y'all's love. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. Keep being a demonstration of your ministry. I'm telling you, marriage is not easy. No. Marriage is not easy. And I share with you. Look, I've been single. I've been married. I'm single again. Look, people, hashtag your own goals. Right? People be like, oh, relationship goals. You better hashtag your goals. Get off this people stuff.
Again.
You don't know what those folks went through to take that picture. Okay.
Listen, we were talking about getting in the game. That is not a game. It's not a game.
It is not a game, people. It is not a game. It is not a game. Look, we change in the middle of the game sometimes, and you got to decide, are you gonna keep that team shirt on or not?
Oh, that's
okay.
That's a word.
They stick to the rules of the game or not. What does it mean to you? How does it work? Hashtag your own goals. So I'm going to sip my tea now.
I love it. Look.
And we're going to get back on track about rising above all circumstances and challenges to win. But I just had to say that. I just had to say that because you are such a beautiful person inside and out. And I love what you do and how you show up and serve others and how you just wear all the hats.
Oh my goodness.
Wear all the hats in your own grace though. Like I there's not a time that I see you and think she's trying to be somebody else.
Yeah.
You're just being you and you're just doing you so good. And there's so much grace and favor on you. And I know that great things are going to continue to pour out for you and that people's lives are truly going to be transformed through Spotlight Radio, through the TV live stream TV station, like worldwide. You're authoring everything that you do is a blessing.
I appreciate you and thank you again. Of course, I know that you know what it's like to work hard, and I see you as well. I see the great work that you're doing and how you're helping other people. It's so needed. I talked to you before and I said, if I would have just known you just a little bit sooner, a little late, but it's still okay. Yes, you do such great work, and so we need you, and I thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much. So we talked about, look, ask yourselves, why aren't you in the game? Being real with you and ask yourself, why aren't you in the game? Answer the question. Don't just ask and leave it open-ended. Answer the question, people.
Yeah.
And then choose. Make the decision to step into the game, right? Whatever your thing is, whatever your greatness is, whatever that unrest that you have at night, something keeping you up at night, you know why? It's not external.
Yeah.
It's external things are happening. But that's not why you're staying up at night. Answer that calling. And you don't have to do it alone. We talk about frustration is a good sign that you are getting close. Don't be distracted. Don't be discouraged, right? Yeah. I got to drop some gems on us tonight, y'all. So we talked about checking your motive and searching your heart, right? Do it daily. I say do it multiple times. I do it multiple times a day. I have to check myself as a woman. I have to check myself as a mom. I have to check myself as an entrepreneur. I have to check myself as a daughter, as a sister, as a friend, as a cousin, as a niece, all the stuff.
It's so true.
All the time. Self-regulate, right? Get the speck in your own eye, get it out. So that you can absolutely be well in your service to others. And then we talked about sharing your story being one of the most powerful things you can do. This is how you win, y'all, right? And it's not going to always feel like a celebration, but it's not always about how you feel. I didn't feel like getting dressed this morning, but I put my Zoom shirt on, right? And I came and did what I had to do today, right? Small matters in the grand scheme of what other people are experiencing in the world right now. Small matters, right? And then knowing that you are still worthy, regardless of whatever you've been through, regardless of what is to come, that you are still worthy. Ayanna gave us a roadmap.
Oh, goodness.
Of excellence tonight, right? And it's not measured against anything except yourself and what you believe and what you know is true and what you know is well to do. Are you showing up? Are you tying up your shoes and stepping into the game? That's what we want to know tonight. For your, let us know in the chat. DM us if you have any questions you want to take the conversation further. Ayanna, of course, I want you to share with the people the different opportunities that they have with your business.
Okay. Absolutely. So anything from, counseling, we all need that step to get through those hurdles, to figure out where things are within us. So we can take steps from purpose. Counseling, life coaching. If you already know what you're going to do, we help with radio and television platforms so that you can begin to function in your purpose and on a worldwide basis to do your thing. Do your thing. We just want you to do what you're called to do. And as well as, maybe you want to start a business and you haven't quite gotten that off the ground. We do help with establishing LLCs and things of that nature. So I will make sure that you all have my information if you all have questions in the comments.
Yes. And I'm putting here Ascend Volition. Mm-hmm. That is the company. You can find Ayanna on Facebook. You can find her on Instagram. Again, she's going to drop the links. If you're interested in the Survivors Conference, that's happening February 26th, correct?
Yes, February the 26th at 7 p.m.
At 7 p.m. It is virtual, right? So you can register, log in, and get your inspiration, get your healing, connect, find others who share your experiences, and live, transcend, good people. Thank you so much, Ayanna. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, good people. So as you know, we do this every Thursday. Every Thursday we are here. Next Thursday, we're going to be live with Khadijah Beam, Heart Bloom Wellness. And we're going to be talking about working in to work out. Hey, now, you don't want to miss it. Join us live on Transcend next week. And if you are a woman entrepreneur and you're looking for a community to thrive and not just survive, you're looking for strategies, tips, and tricks on how to do what you've intended to accomplish, join us in Results-Driven Strategies for Women Entrepreneurs right here on Facebook. We'll see you next week.
Take care.